Welcome! So, you're moving to Germany. Your first big adventure, your first quest, isn't finding the perfect apartment or the best beer garden. Nope, it's conquering a single piece of paper, the Anmeldung. Let's break down how you can win this first, absolutely crucial, challenge.
So you've made the big decision. You're packing up, maybe you're dreaming of pretzels and super punctual trains. It's an amazing, exciting time. But before you get to all the fun stuff, there's one thing every single person moving here has to do first.
That's right, you knew it was coming. If you've heard any rumors about German bureaucracy, I'm here to tell you, yeah, they're pretty much all true. But don't worry, it's manageable, and we're going to break down the most important part of it right here, right now.
Okay, so let's talk about your first real challenge in Germany. It's not going to be finding the best doner kebab, though that's important too. It's navigating this whole new world of official forms and stamps. This is really where your journey begins.
And you know, this isn't just some quirky stereotype. It's the foundation of the whole system. Your bank account, your job, your phone, pretty much your entire life in Germany is built on one single foundational document, and it all starts with getting registered.
So instead of thinking of this as a hurdle, I want you to think of it as the key. It's the key that unlocks everything else for you. So what exactly is this Anmeldung?
To put it simply, the Anmeldung is you officially telling the German government, hey, I live here now. That's it. It's the formal registration of your address, and it becomes the official proof that you reside in your new city.
And please don't underestimate how critical this is. Without that little official stamp, you are basically locked out of normal life. You literally can't open a bank account. You can't get a phone plan. You can't even officially start your job. Getting this done isn't just important, it's completely non-negotiable.
All right, now that you know why it's such a big deal, let's get practical. How do you actually get this thing done? Here is your step-by-step guide.
We can boil it down to 3 simple steps. First, you've got to book an appointment online at your local registration office. That's called the Bürgeramt. Second, you gather up all your documents. And third, you show up to your appointment and get that all-important stamp. Sounds easy, right? Well, the devil's in the details.
So what do you need to bring? First, the obvious one, your passport or ID. Next, and this is super critical, a confirmation form signed by your landlord. And finally, the main registration form itself, the Anmelde form, which you need to have already filled out before you get there.
And here it is, maybe the single most important tip I can give you. Especially in big cities, appointments can be totally booked up for weeks, sometimes even months ahead of time. The moment you have a move-in date, I mean that very second, get online and book. Seriously, do not wait.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like in real life? Let's check out some stories from people who've been through this whole process and see what we can learn.
This little timeline shows you what I call the classic domino effect. Someone shared that they needed a job to get an apartment, but then they needed the apartment to get registered, and they needed to be registered to open a bank account to get paid. See? It's all a chain reaction where every step depends on the one before it.
And here's a story you'll hear variations of all the time. This person in Berlin did everything right. They booked 2 months in advance, but they still had to make a second trip just because one single piece of paper was missing. That is a classic bureaucracy trap.
So the lesson here is simple but so important. Before you walk out the door for your appointment, lay everything out on a table and double-check it all. Then check it again. Make sure every single form is there and filled out correctly. Trust me, that one final check can save you hours, maybe even days of frustration.
Okay, you did it. You survived the appointment, your form is stamped, mission accomplished. So, what happens now? Let's talk about the good part, the rewards, and what this achievement unlocks.
The first big payoff is this. Your tax ID number, or the Steueridentifikationsnummer, will be automatically generated and mailed right to your newly registered address. Your job is going to need this number to process your salary, so this is a huge, huge step forward.
And here's a final piece of advice to keep in your back pocket. Just treat this whole bureaucracy thing like a marathon, not a sprint. You got to be patient, you got to be prepared, and you got to celebrate every single stamped paper you get, because each one is a genuine victory. So there you have it. You've conquered the Anmeldung. You've basically unlocked the next level of your life in Germany. Your first official paper is in your hands. So the real question is, what's the next quest on your German adventure?